Oh, hello there. So I'm just kind of sitting here, uh, thinking about. I just did this song by Shaver, Billy Joe Shaver, and if you don't know anything about Shaver, Billy Joe Shaver, if you have a chance, listen to that record there. It's called "Tramp on Your Street." It came out in 1993. It's really good country roots music. There's some really good songs on there, and I'm hoping I can do some more of them. Uh, some more Billy Joe Shaver songs. Billy Joe Shaver isn't really well known. He's not super famous amongst country music fans, but he's a hugely popular amongst country music singers. He's a songwriter. He's not a singer. He's a songwriter. And he's made some pretty written some pretty epic songs that people like Waylon Jennings, Chris Christopherson, Willie Nelson, Johnny Cash. I thought it even said Elvis Presley have recorded his songs. He's the most famous guy you may have never heard of. If you think of Chris Christopherson, think of John Prine, think of Towns Van Zandt. Who's that guy that Garth Brooks was big on? Chris Ledoux. You know, these guys that are songwriters, but they're not super famous. You know, Nancy Griffith popped into my head. You know, they wrote a lot of good songs, but they weren't really well respected as singers. Okay. So that's Billy Joel. So when Billy Joel was kind of famous, he was an old man. The record that I posted, Tramp on Your Street, that I just showed, was 1993, and he was an old man by then. He was born in 1939, so he's not a young man. Um, he on Tramp on Your Street, he tells the story of walking through 10 miles of train track when he was like 10 years old and with bare feet to go see Hank Williams perform. And he said he snuck in the back or the side or whatever. And he snuck to the front. And he said Hank Williams sang every song looking straight at him, this little kid. And he was just transfixed by Hank Williams. And he decided at 10 years old, that's what he wanted to do, right? And that's kind of the way he went. So, he kind of broke on the scene in 1973. Like, that's kind of his vintage. Like, he's 70s, early 80s. He had some health problems. I wanted to say he did some time in prison, but maybe not. But he definitely had a problem with the drink. Um, Willie Nelson, Nancy Griffith. Oh, Dickie Betts from the Allman Brothers, Charlie Daniels recorded his songs. Um, the one that popped into my head was he wrote "Old Chunk of Coal." I'm just an old chunk of coal, but I'm gonna be a diamond someday. Like, that's the kind of music he was writing in the 70s, like roots country music. Um, his debut record came out in 1973, so that's what we're dealing with here. Um, he got picked up immediately by David Allan Coe, Waylon Jennings. When I Get My Wings, Ain't No God in Mexico, Honky Tonk Heroes, You Asked Me To. He's known for his hit "Live Forever." I'm hoping I can do "Live Forever." A few other songs. I think "Oklahoma Wind" is one, and maybe "Tramp on Your Street." The Highwaymen did one of his songs. Patty Loveless did one of his songs. Willie Nelson did one of his songs. Says he worked in the 80s and 90s. I think basically he was a drunk and kind of disappeared, kind of lost everything. But 1993 was Tramp on Your Street, and then he kind of came out as like a proper artist, and he got a lot of. I remember watching him on CMT back then, and he won a Grammy for that record. He did some duets with Johnny Cash, Chris Christopherson, Tanya Tucker, Randy Scruggs, Marty Stewart. So, I mean, yeah, he was really respected by the country music performers. In '07, he shot a guy. A bit of a dust up in a bar. He got off on that for self defense. Yeah, shot a guy. In 1993, his guitar player was his son, Eddie. And he had kind of was estranged from his son and his wife. His wife died from cancer when Eddie was small. And Eddie was his guitar player. If you look at any of his music videos, Eddie's the guitar player. Pretty good guitar player there. It says in here, poor Eddie died of a heroin overdose. I can't remember the year. Looked like the boy and his dad were pretty close. Eddie died from a heroin overdose from drugs. Shaver died in 2020 from a stroke at 81. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of talk about that. I'm just an old chunk of coal, but I'm going to be a diamond someday. That's him. Tramp on Your Street. A few records like that. Like I say, he's not really famous for anything other than lots of people picked up his songs that he wrote. So he's a songwriter, right? Anyways, I just wanted to talk about that. Poor Billy Joe Shaver is dead now from a stroke. Like I say, it's kind of sad that his son died from heroin and he almost lost his life to drinking, but was a survivor and kind of, he acted. He was in some movies and stuff. And like I say, sort of later on in life, shot a guy in self-defense and almost went to jail and just kind of petered out, and he's dead now. So anyways, I just wanted to kind of mention that. And this next song, I don't know if I'm going to put this separately or at the beginning or at the end or what, but I'm doing If I Give My Soul. It's an interesting song. If you listen to the lyrics of this, it's if I give my soul, will he clean these clothes I'm wearing? If I give my soul, will he put new boots on my feet? Right? Like he's going to be. Then he says, if I bow my head and beg God for his forgiveness, will he breathe new life, new breath within me and bring her back to me? So you think he's like, oh, he's going to fall into, and the whole thing is about the woman, right? If I make my peace with Jesus, will she take me back again? Like you think he's like, he's going to turn to God. But every verse is, if I do this, will she love me? It's very interesting. No doubt the wife was a God-fearing woman. And every verse goes, if I give my soul, will he stop my hands from shaking? Because he was a drinker. If I give my soul, will my son love me again? If I give my soul, and she knows I really mean it. If I give my soul to Jesus, will she take me back again? And like, you want to sing, if I give my soul, and he knows like, if I give my soul to Jesus and he knows I mean it, but it's, and she knows I mean it, will she take me back? So is he being genuine or not? Or is he just trying to win her affections? It's an interesting song. Country music songs are pretty interesting. And like I say, it wasn't until I started singing it that I realized that he's talking about losing his family. And really he's saying, I'll do whatever it takes, Jesus, to get my family back. Does he actually believe? Is he actually giving his soul? Or is he just saying, God, if I do this for you, will you give me my family back? It's pretty conditional, right? It's kind of, I don't know, like I say, I didn't really get that part until I started singing the song. And I would stumble on the lyrics and go, no. If I give my soul and she knows I really mean it, God, will you bring her back to me? Will she take me back? It's almost like I'm only going to give my soul to Jesus if she'll take me back. It's interesting. Like I say, country music songs that's why there's a story to them, right? And that's what makes the drama and that's what makes the songs good. And like I say, you can hear a song 20 times till you actually break it down. If I bow my head and beg God for his forgiveness, will he breathe new breath within me and bring her back to me? You get the feeling like he's like, I'm only going to do this if she'll come back. I'm only going to do this to the extent that she'll love me again. Yeah. Anyways, that's what makes it an interesting song. And that's what makes this whole thing fun. So like I say, I hope you know a little more about Billy Joe Shaver now. And I've talked for 10 minutes. Sorry. Have a good day.